Erzgard here, and it's time to talk about Mushoku Tensei, and I have to say, what an episode. This has been an amazing show to have so far, but this episode hit like an emotional truck, and Norn quickly became one of my favorite characters in the series, and probably in anime also in general, with how much they showcased in this episode. And this is why I love this series, the characters, the emotion, the internal turmoil, and seeing the similarities between Rudy and Norn, and kind of swapping a bit roles with him, having to be there for somebody that is going through what he went through in his original life. Just insane how good this episode was. And I love Norn, and she needs to be protected here. But let's get into the episode and talk about it. Now, picks up from last week, we see Rudy very worried about Norn, and actually acknowledging that she reminds him of himself, what he went through in his original life, cutting himself in his room, not talking to anybody, not taking advice there. And this time he's willing to do anything and everything for her, just showing how much he cares for her. And he kind of jumped the gun a bit. We know when you're in that position, you're very emotional, you're not thinking straight, you don't have all of the information, especially if it's something that's very close to, in this case, his sister, and he also feels very guilty for a lot of things. He went straight to his class, assuming the same things happened to her. Somebody was bullying her, somebody was doing something to her, and he started questioning everybody, even the teacher. He felt like an instructor, like a drill sergeant in the room. You can feel the tension there. Felt so emotional and so good. Everybody that, what did you do? What happened here? Just come forward. I'm not gonna do anything to you. And yeah, I'm not gonna do anything to you. He said it out loud, but internally it's like, I'm gonna tear them limb for limb if they did anything to her. Just Rudy is a problematic character, but he's also a great character. He has come a long way. He still has a lot of work to do, but showing how much he cares for those he loves, his family, everything. And I love that scene so much here. And we have that cute girl trying, I want to say something, and she was almost ready to tear her apart there. But all of them showing, started opening up, telling her, we told her, hey, is Rodius your brother? You should be more like your brother. Even the teacher, yeah, it's okay, don't worry, following your brother's first footstep there. And this kind of started a bit Norn's inferiority complex, and showing that everybody was talking to her only to get to Rudeus, only their connection there. You're Rudeus' sister, you're never Norn. They always refer to her as his sister instead of using, they didn't really see her as a person, and that amplified all of the other issues around her there. And when Rodius realized this, he felt even more guilty there. Linia, Porcena, Sylphie tried to comfort him and try to help him here. And this is why this episode was also great, because it hit Rudy very hard, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to help. It's very difficult and probably even impossible to help somebody in that situation there, even though they did everything they could here. Sylphie, Linia, and Porcena help smuggle him in the girls' dormitory so he could go in and see her. But what was great about how they did this, and I got very emotional here, and when he tried to go in, he heard the voice of a man saying, stay out. And he heard himself back in his original life. That was so good, that scene just hit like a truck there. All of us, maybe to different levels of degrees, have shut ourselves in for various reasons. Trauma in the family, some things weren't making sense in life, simple things that affect you enormously. Everybody process things differently, but having that scene there reminding him of himself a lot more, and was such a powerful scene there. And we see a bit more flashbacks, how his brother also tried to help. Just no matter how good the arguments are, when somebody's coming to help you, when you're in that state of mind to help you, even if they have the most perfect arguments, most perfect advice, whatever. You're not in the mental state to listen to them or even process those advices. You either ignore them or dismiss them instantly. Even here, Rudy saying, somebody like you could never understand because you see them in a different place of life. You feel like nobody can understand you. And I went through something similar like this, and it hit you quite hard. So no matter how much somebody wants to help you, until you also want to help yourself, it's not gonna be possible to get out of that state of mind. And it's very easy when you're in the outside. Just stop being depressed. Just stop doing that. But it's not a switch. It doesn't work. Let's just flip a switch, press the button. Oh, I'm happy suddenly. Yeah, thank you very much. Why didn't I think about that myself? And it's even harder when you're trying to help somebody in that situation, because you're giving them advice, even if it's the perfect advice. And then you get frustrated because they don't listen to you, you don't know what to do. And that causes rifts, that causes problems for you also, and for them also, even more when they're a family member then. And this is why I love Mushoku Tensei. It's such an amazing show for characters, emotional driven, and this is why this season has been great. The build up here, the relationship between characters, even the slice of life things here, seeing the daily lives of the character. There's an overarching plot here, and personally I don't enjoy slice of life series, but I love season 2 of Mushoku Tensei because there's a reason to this slice of life, the characters, the relationship, everything that has been happening here. And after this we see a bit of Norn's POV, and was amazing how they did her point of view and showing how everything started from her back in season 1, that meeting. Another amazing episode that we had back then, Rudy and Paul's reunion, that dinner conversation hit emotionally like a truck again. And when she saw him hit her father, the one person that was protecting her, she started being afraid of him. She didn't know how to act around him. She didn't know what to do there. And ever since then, everything was triggering her a bit. When she had to come here to live with him, she saw him just getting drunk with a girl, referring to Sylvie when they came back from the party there, and thinking to herself, he's just enjoying life. Meanwhile, our father is looking for our mother. It's very easy to misunderstand things, take things out of context when you're in that headspace. She felt alone, she felt scared of him, she felt like she was about to get kicked out of the house, like Rudy didn't care about her. Especially for a child. Remember, she's still a child, she's not a grown woman, she's not an adult here. And this is why she asked to live in the dorms. She wanted to have some security, some safety a bit. She didn't feel welcome at home there, but she was also surprised that Rudy didn't get angry when she asked for that. But she quickly jumped to another conclusion. Maybe he doesn't care about me, so I'm useless to him. So that's why he's okay with this. You always jump to conclusions that amplify those issues so much, and even more at school, where everybody was comparing her to her brother there. Rudy this, Rudy that, Rudy this, Rudy that. Never about Norn, always putting the pressure on her. It's when you have somebody great in your family, have this reputation, they have this success, and you kind of live in their shadow. Everybody's like, why can't you be more like this? Why can't you do more like this? Hey, your brother, your cousin, your whatever, your whoever, they're doing this, they have success. But you're not that person. Everybody does things differently. And even more here with Norn being compared to Rudy, to Aisha, also here, and we see how much everything piled up, all of the trauma, all of the issue, and she had a panic attack in bed there, and that's why she was starting to miss the school. But slowly she started thinking to herself, going through her emotion, thoughts, realizing more and more about Rudy, thinking differently a bit there, but also herself, she didn't know what to do, how to react, how to be around Rudy, what to do with those emotions. And we see some flashbacks slowly, Rugerd telling her, at some point you're going to understand more about your brother. He's not the person you assume he is there, and you're gonna get along more. Just face it. Don't run away. Your father didn't run away. And even the conversation after Rudy and Paul made up, Paul explained to her, hey, Rudy also had it hard. It's not that easy, but how do you explain that to a child? To everything that happened there, all of the baggage between their union, between their life, the teleportation incident, just insanity. She just saw a glimpse there and she ran with it here. But probably the most powerful thing that helped her here was Rudy being honest with her, apologizing for everything that happened. And another such a good way to show this, when he drew the curtain there, she saw Paul, she saw their father kind of in the same state of mind when he let himself go, drinking, being depressed. Kind of realized that Rudy also has been through some very hard things, and him just saying, I'm here for you, do you mind if I just stay? Just being there for somebody is probably the most important thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional. Episodes like this hit quite hard and hit quite close to home in some way. And slowly she figured out her own emotions. She started seeing him for the better a bit, and having that breakdown, feeling those emotions, crying, letting things flow, and actually realizing he's there for her. And we see after that she was happier. She started living a bit more, opening herself up more to Rudy, to the others, saying hello, smiling a bit, living life. It's still a process. She didn't press a button and she's perfectly healthy and everything is fine. She took the biggest step emotionally. This is a journey, not snap of a finger. This is why I love this series. Deals so well with characters, depression, their relationship, and Rudy being proud of her and thinking to himself that she did what he couldn't do in his original life. She sorted out her own emotions, and he couldn't be more proud of that. And hey, thinking to himself, maybe if he could have done the same thing, yeah, hindsight is always 2020. But when you're out of that gutter, so to say, that emotional state, it's very easy to look back. Hey, maybe if I've done this, maybe if I done the other thing. Yeah, but when you're in that moment, and not just for depression, for a lot of things, when you're in that moment, you don't have the answers. After something passes, hindsight 2020 is very easy to look back and think maybe if I done things differently there. But this also helped Rudy quite a lot, kind of helped him process some of the things also from his original life, and saying the past won't change. It is what it is. I can't go back. I have to focus on the future. I'm paraphrasing a bit, of course, but also thinking, hey, maybe if Nanahoshi does find a way back home, he's gonna ask her to give his brother a message. I'm sorry and thank you. Really curious if that's ever going to happen. What would his brother reactions going to be, because Rudy is probably never going back. This is his world now. This is his life. He left everything back there, and not like he left anything much, considering in what state he was there. He was emotionally stunted. He did some bad choices. His life wasn't in a good place there, but hey, he still left behind family members. And I love the series so much for episodes and things like this. And next week, I'm not ready because it's going to be the turning point number 3. And if you're a Mushoku fan, you know when the turning points happen, shit hits the fan. Because so far, life has been good for Rudy, sorting things out, living life, kind of getting a second chance as life, going to school, which he never properly had here, the respect, everything, having a family, having success in life, having friends. Things have been working out, getting over the depression that happened also Aries, there a lot of things have been going well. When a turning point happens, yeah, I'm excited for next week, but I'm also really scared. But after this episode, I know, man, this series has been so good. Fuck them haters. Honestly, fuck them haters. If you have a problem with the series, it's your problem. Deal with this. I don't even care at this point anymore. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the episode, what I think so far of season 2 and Norn and Rudius, what they have been dealing with in this episode. And what do you think is going to happen in turning point number 3? Don't give me spoilers. If you're a source material reader, don't say anything. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps me quite a lot. You guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Mushoku Tensei. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye.